So hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video I want to talk about fuel and how much we should have on board and how you should go about trying to plan how much fuel you're actually going to carry for the race or if you're doing a practice session. First of all, I'm going to look straight away at Brands Hatch. It's a great circuit and I believe that we can lap comfortably around the 1 minute 25 per lap. Obviously we'll start to have a look at this fuel calculator as we go into it, and I'll talk you through how I go about using the calculator itself. So here we are then, just looking at the race calculator itself, and I'm going to start to input a few details into this and we can start to actually see what's going to happen. So I'm going to take, for example, we're just going to be doing a 20-minute session at Brands Hatch, something that we're all going to come across. And do be aware where you put in your colons and semicolons in this section, whether it's a point as well, especially on the average lap time. So you can see there we've got 20-minute session, and we're going to try and do an average lap of 1 minute 25. You can probably hit the 1 minute 23s, 24s, but this is just giving you an idea as to how I'm sort of working out how much fuel is going to need to be on board. As you can see there, it's going to total 15 laps, and the actual total time for the session is going to be a 21 minute 15. So as you pass that start finish line on the last lap, you can see quite clearly you need to be carrying another minute and 15 seconds worth of fuel in that 20-minute session. So you might choose, if you were say going to run a 20-minute session, on average you'd probably put about 40 laps of fuel in, and I'm just picking figures from my head here as to create like a fuel requirement. So 3.5 litres of fuel per lap would equate to having to put 52.5 litres of fuel in the tank. So maybe something like that if you were driving the BMW M4, which seems to chomp through fuel. I'm not sure if it still does, but obviously if we start to lower the fuel lap requirement, it starts to come down and bring us to somewhere around that 40 litres of fuel for a 20-minute session. We've got, I think it's about 100 litres in most of the GT3 cars. I think the BMW is actually an 80-litre tank. It really is compromised quite a lot by its fuel capacity. But as we look at adding another hour onto that session, then things start to become a little bit more complicated if you're doing much longer stints. Obviously we look at putting that maximum 100 litres of fuel in the car, and the calculator really does start to work things out a little bit for you. Obviously you can see you're going to be doing 2 stints and it's going to require 1 stop, and it works out how much fuel you need to put in within the first portion of the race and how much you're going to require for the second portion. Obviously sticking 98 litres in initially, and then it sort of gives you a window as well as to where you could choose to take that stop, obviously depending on whether you've taken any damage during that session. But I really do find that, especially for those longer stints, this is a brilliant tool just to give you some understanding and sort of try and work out your fuel strategy and not carry too much more fuel than you actually require for doing the race. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video, hopefully you'll download it. I'll leave the link in the description. Thanks for watching. Ciao for now.